Day one of giving my life to Claude to organize.
I would say rather day 4365, because I think I have been chasing her down how to automate quite a lot of stuff. That's why I bought her a new laptop so she could do her own stuff as well as her own Claude account, so that she can stop messing with
Outsourcing your part-time job.
yes. Yes.
Okay, so I am a dentist. I'm a dental practice owner, and apart from everything clinical, apart from everything teeth and patients, there is a whole lot of work and organization that I need to do in terms of how the practice runs, how patients perceive it, how the practice grows, how we scale it. And today we are sitting down and starting to basically organize that, get Claude to help me do things more efficiently. I've been introduced to Claude Cowork now, and it haunts me a little bit. to see the mouse cursor move on its own is scary. Shall we start with?
Start with some very, how do I say, simplistic stuff, which we anyways need to do on a daily basis, and then we can see some complex stuff, right?
Okay.
And by simple stuff, I mean how to maybe have a daily briefing out of your emails, and then we can move on to looking at how you can possibly structure, get ideas for your content, but also generate some content out of it.
Okay, can we start with like a day in a dental practice? Say we start usually in the practice every day, we start with like a morning huddle where we discuss about what kind of patients, who all is coming in, what tasks we have for the day, what meetings we have for the day. So how would I be able to incorporate Cowork into helping me organize that?
Cool. Okay, that's a great starting point, right? That how do you structure your day? So what I read is either you'll have all the mails and the inputs on your Gmail or your
Invites,
whatever calendar you're using. First is that, right? And for that, what you would need to do is, let's say, go to customize, and then you'll need to go to connectors, and then connect certain connectors. So connectors is almost doing the job of acting on your behalf to connect to certain tools and then do certain tasks. So Claude just needs connectors to connect these tools. For example, it can connect to Gmail, it can connect to Chrome, right? And if you need to access, for example, internet, Claude can do on its own. But if you need to go deeper into social media, let's say Instagram or YouTube, right? Then you need something like Apify.
These connectors, how do I get these on my Cowork?
Okay, so you have to click customize, right? And as soon as you click customize, there are these connectors you can go to, right? And you see some connectors already exist, which I have given it to, right? But you can also click this plus and you can click on browse connectors.
Okay.
And then you see all of them.
Okay.
So what you can do.
Oh, there's Uber Eats on there as well.
Yeah, you can order, you can automate that every day if you want.
Order
Yeah, you
my
can just
dinner.
order my dinner. Yeah, you can totally do that. You can book stuff on Booking, whatnot.
Okay.
But the use case which we were discussing now, for
Yeah.
that we needed Gmail, right? So let me try and do that. Let's use your official email for this. For now, it would be email to get that. It would be able to draft. So we get, hey Claude, I would love to see if now you can access my Gmail as well as my calendar. And then my goal for today is to set up like a routine or a skill. Tell me what's best, which can go in the direction of giving me my daily briefings, can structure my day, tell me what tasks I have, also create some drafts in the direction of mails I have gotten, which I should really respond to, and also sequence it in the order of importance for me. So this is what I'm trying to do, but first let's just check if everything is working and then slowly tell me what's the best way to build this. Right? So now I give it this instruction, it'll think about it. What I love to do is in the direction of that at times I have output in mind, but I don't want now to be very specific altogether in the beginning, because Claude also has a lot of context from all around the world. So if I'm trying to give or get an output, I also brainstorm with it a bit that, hey, I'm trying to, let's say, build this, but what do you think is the best way to build this, right?
Okay.
And at times it gives me like multiple points which are good, that, oh, you can structure it this way and that way. So what you see now is Claude was able to successfully connect to your Gmail, right? And it's saying that, yeah, I'm connected to this email and I'm connected to this calendar. So now, as I already gave the instruction that, hey, we need to do this daily briefing, it is asking you some questions, you see, right? That how should the daily briefing be delivered, right? Should it be like a scheduled task plus skill, or skill only, or live artifact dashboard, right? It could also be a dashboard which you go and see. I would say rather have it scheduled task, what it is saying recommended, plus a skill. Let me explain quickly what a skill is, right? Skill is really the way we say a skill in human language as well, right? What happens in Claude is you can have a repeatable set of things which it does, and then you can make a skill out of it and which it can basically do for you repetitively. For example, you make a presentation in a particular format, in a particular brand, in a particular color, for different audiences all the time. You can make a skill out of that, right? So you can make these instructions one time and tell it to convert it into a skill. And next time, whenever you want to make a presentation, you just initiate that skill that, hey, I want to make a presentation, use that skill and build the presentation for me. So it also, you don't have to do the whole repetitive task again. The skill is called daily briefing. You can also give a name in the beginning if you like. Then, now what it does, it pulls calendars, pulls your inblocks, then it creates a triage and rank it, right? And then auto draft replies, and then gives you the briefing as an output, right? Now, it is also smart, so at times it makes certain decisions on its own, but if you guide it to, let's say, ask you, right, it would do so. So now it is asking certain questions that open decisions it would like to confirm. Okay, but schedule time can be 7:30 Monday to Friday. Draft cap, as we discussed, can be 7. Patient clinic detection would be, yeah, correct. I think this is fine if they say appointment, if they need something urgently.
Yeah.
And the delivery surface it is saying the scheduled run will deliver the briefing into co-work chat as a new session. I would want it to be emailed to possibly your email itself, right?
Yeah.
So send it to the email which we are connected to, which is bluelightdentalclinic@gmail.com, so that Sayukta can read it. Just to set some context here on top, we are doing all of this for Sayukta. We are not doing this for me. So sure, we are using my account, me being Prashant. So don't add anything to the memory from this session, and don't send anything to me later for this. Send everything to Sayukta. Says it created something. So you see, your daily briefing is here already, right? And this is how it would look like, right? That, okay, for now there is no events in your calendar, first 3 actions. This is what it is. I would hide this. What comes in the patient thing, then what happened in the partnership part, again I'll hide that as well in terms of details where it came from. And then it also has some operational stuff from people, right, which you have. And then there are, let's say, some leftovers which it takes and then skipped. So you can have a look at that and you have your daily briefing ready.
Nice.
Just for whenever I recommend that whenever you have created a task and scheduled it, it's okay to just go see the scheduled task. I'll show you now, and then run it once, right? It's a good practice to do so, so that you can see the sources it's referring to.
Right.
Cool.
So we have my
Daily
briefing
right?
to start my
ready.
day.
Yeah.
Say I've seen some patients now. I've had some consultations, and now I need to send these patients. Like one of the major tasks, like admin tasks that dentists have, is to create treatment plans and send those treatment plans to patients. How can Claude help?
What we can do is we can create again a skill which is specific to you for creating a presentation, right? And it could be then going in a particular direction of how you like to do it visually and whatnot. So let's see. Let's dive into it. What we would do. I think first thing would be that hey, create a presentation.
Yeah.
Right. Second thing would be take the content from me or research a bit online. Third thing would be to design it in the visual style of my brand or my personal brand. Then fourth thing would be that, okay, design like a high level storyline from it,
Yeah.
or how the things would be like a story arc,
Yeah.
right? How things would be structured. Align it with me. That would be the fifth thing that you say you get a chance, and then give it to me in slide by slide format. Now, what I want to do is I want to create for Sanyukta a skill here, which would be about creating treatment plans in presentation format. And here, how I want, let's say, this skill to behave is that for now, it should take the visual style of Sanyukta from her website, drscoates.com. Then after that, she would be giving the whole transcript from her conversation with the patient. Take the details out. If there are any personal details, leave it out. And then create a treatment plan from the input or the transcript given. And after that, create a storyline, which would be easy for the patient to understand. Research online if something I have missed and needs to be included. After that, ask me about the storyline, if the storyline is perfect, right? Once I give a go-ahead on the storyline, then give me slide by slide what the content would look like on the slides. And once I give a go-ahead, then do the presentation and make it in the PPT form so that I can edit it later. I want to call this skill treatment plan, right? And this is just a very general thought I had. I would also love for you to brainstorm with me if I'm building it the right way, or this can be even further better.
It's a very detailed prompt, but I'm just going to give a little context here. Usually when you say the transcript of my conversation with the patient, I usually make a Loom video to the patient to send to the patient.
Yeah, true.
So this Loom video is me explaining the treatment plan to the patient, and it also has patient's details like photos and clin check videos and scans and everything, photographs and everything. And I use the transcript from this video and then feed it to Claude.
Yeah. So I would recommend that you take out the patient details from this.
Yeah.
So I would already start making notes, right? Yes, you are right. Do the scraping for style once. You would see some typos because I'm not used to writing anymore. The style ones from drscoates.com. That's your website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And store it in the skill. Okay. Then research online if something missed is too vague. What do you actually want here? Research the procedures, research best practice treatment plan.
I don't think we need research. Maybe
this
we
is
should
just
put,
for
maybe we should put something like don't use any clinical jargons and use patient-friendly language to explain the procedure.
Yeah.
Because in the transcript, I would have explained the treatment anyway.
You don't need online research. Rather, just use the language closer to used in the transcript, right? Yeah, so if you see, it is saying, okay, dummy script with Maya and Dr. Sayukta, there is this whole transcript. Now it is saying, yeah, sure. Sure, give me the storyline for this presentation. First it gave us the dummy transcript and then gave us the storyline, and it just created some fictional stuff here, right? So
That's cool.
PowerPoint to have like a complete look. Sure. So now you see that, okay, it might have done an okay, very basic visual job, right? Then you can basically adjust certain things, right? Whatever you like visually, whatever you don't like visually. For example, this timeline thing I really liked, but for example, this boxy part, right? I didn't like. If you want a bit more rounded boxes, you want more use of circles, if that's aligned with your brand.
So if I give command to make such edits on this PPT, will Claude go do it on the same one, or will it build a whole?
So it will be the same deck,
Okay.
is what you. So you'll get the same deck basically edited in a way, right? But if you say you need a new version or whatever, you want to keep it, sure you can. So now once you send the treatment plan, what else are you looking to solve?
So send the treatment plan, and hopefully, well, I'm sure with like a quicker turnover of treatment plans and us getting back to patients in time, it will improve conversions as well. I guess that leads to revenue and revenue scaling. How can I bring Claude into marketing? I remember we've hired marketing agencies and they've made like ads for us, they've ran campaigns for us. That part of the practice running.
Sure. I mean, there are startups now built exactly on this, that you research the whole market, you take that input, create ad creatives, run it on Meta, get the leads, and then automatically outreach to them and convert them, right? So this can totally be built and automated. Really depends how much part you want to automate for yourself, right? So now really researching the market, right? If I say the first part, researching what is working in your niche, let's say dentistry, what you can do, I would recommend one thing to do is really have Apify connector connected, right? Why do you need that? So Claude can really research the internet well, but it can't go inside social media, for example, Instagram to see what's happening, or YouTube to see what's happening, to read that. So if you want to do it, for whatever the purpose is, that hey, you need Apify for that. So you connect Apify and you just go and then tell Claude, I'm not running it right now, just because I mean it just costs a little, and I need to reload my Apify. But for other things we have done it. For example, for GBP posts, or let's say you have an influencer coming in for collab, right? You can just give their handle and be like, hey, tell me what things have worked for them. What kind of content they have made which have worked, and basis that what kind of content I should make with them on collaboration. So if it is not your forte to shoot a lot of ads or content, you can use things like Higgsfield or HeyGen to take that script, and also you can use some skills which are present online for Claude. For example, Cdance 2, it produces really good results. You can take that, give it the script, and it'll produce you the ad.
I've actually done this, the Higgsfield app. I didn't have I'd not done a photo shoot or anything before, so I had very limited kind of photographs. So we put some of my photographs in Higgsfield and generated a whole block of photos that I use for my Instagram posts. Okay. Another biggest pain point for me, and I'm sure for a lot of dentists, would be to create our own website. We all know we need it. We all know we have to get around it. Does CoWork make that any easier?
Yes. So you can, depending upon what you need, you can simply use Cowork to design your website, right? And you can also connect it to some online platform which might be hosted on your hosting. So for example, WordPress, or you can also have it locally. So I built a website locally. I'll show you. So first of all, I just asked Claude that how should I build it. You won't be able to see it now because I did it in the past, but I'll show you how the website looks, right? So what I did was I asked Claude that, hey, I want to make a website and I want to do it in a way so that the people who will manage it later should be able to add it in the backend. How should I make it, right? It told me, okay, do it in WordPress. Then I asked, okay, how should I do it in WordPress? Where should I do it? I don't have a hosting yet. It said, okay, build it locally and later we put it on some hosting, right? So this is the website it created.
Nice.
And all of it was done by talking to it verbally, the way I was chatting before. No coding at all. No coding at all. So whatever I could see visually, for example, even this thing, like I just told it, hey, here is the image. I want it to appear behind the whole hero part as a bit transparent, and then I adjusted the transparency. Hey, I want this 4.9 Google image to show. I want some treatments here. I want some, what we do. I want the WhatsApp thing on top. I want phone number. I want the logo here. I want the online link. Link it exactly to the portal. So it did link it to the portal, right? And do the whole styling I gave it the brand book. So I just gave the brand book and it did all of that. And then it developed everything. And then I had to still chat with it, what kind of treatment pages I want.
I was about to ask. So under each treatment, under each click link, there is like data at the back. So how did you get it to take care of that?
Yeah, depending on the complexity of the website. On this one, obviously, the good part was we had a lot of data which existed on the old website. So I told it to go and scrape the whole old website and get all the treatment pages data and create those pages from that. So that saved me a hell lot of time. Some images I didn't have, so I also told that you generate it yourself from AI, but keep it close to reality a bit. I also told it once that whichever images are relevant for a particular page, get it from my Instagram. So some of the images are from Instagram, what we posted. And I did that way, right? And then you do have to make some minor adjustments, and you can play some styling things. You can just tell it that, for example, this arch thing was quite rounded before. I just asked it to do it that way, and it does pretty much everything you say. Cool. So now that we built the website, right, and I showed you how that might work in terms of the website, right? What you need is for you to rank better on Google, right? How people find your website, how they book you. So when they go on Google, they are looking for someone, they need to find you. So how do you make that better? Basically, you can outsource all of that to Cowork as well, to do your SEO.
To improve your ranking.
To improve your ranking.
Oh, nice.
Simply put, right? And how I have structured it, or how I would say one can structure it, is first of all, let it create a strategy for you. Let it do an analysis that how you're doing and how your competitors are doing and whatnot, right? So it does the whole analysis, and bases that analysis, looking at the gaps, it posts for you. So you can automate that. And by posting more on the content where the gaps are, or you lack a bit, you rank better, right? So it can do that posting for you. Be it on your website, so it can go and post on your website the blog post and you can become the approver. But it can also post on Google. So you can start posting on Google. We have also automated that. Now we are not showing a lot of details, or you see a lot of details. But we have built this. So this is just to set the direction. We are also building quite some additional stuff. Our whole marketing engine, which is how the content is done, then how the leads come in, how we automatically have a chatbot on WhatsApp which reaches out to them. We are also building a chatbot not a chatbot, like a voice bot which would call them. And that all is not so difficult to make as well
Yeah.
at the same
So
time.
we don't
right?
need to hire lots of companies to do this for us.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can just learn how to do it on our own and like automate it. It's not
Yeah.
an additional task for dentists to do anymore.
True. You gotta hire a person who can be like an agent jockey, and you create agent for things, and they run it, and they make it better, and they feed better data to them, and it's just then running those things.
Yeah.
So I'm already a bit of half an agent jockey throughout the day. I would love for people to become one, because it's just I'm already, I think, doing 2x of what I could do a year ago. So that's already quite an uplift. Not even 2x, actually, way more. But yeah, exciting times, guys. Have a good one. Talk to you. Bye-bye.